Hello, folks, and welcome to Game 202 here on this beautiful but cold and snowy Sunday in Northwest Ohio. We have your Findlay Trojans Peewee Gold in their home white again for Game 2 against the EDP Spiders, visiting in their red uniforms. So Game 1 was taken by the Trojans, 7-3. And we'll get ready here shortly to drop the puck for Game 2. Henry Yates will be in goal for Game 2. Findlay's got the win in Game 1. As we get ready here, teams will gather up. One last talk about strategy. We'll get ready to do that. Yesterday's games against Gilmore were exhibitions. Today, these are league games in the Metropolitan Columbus. Starting the game out for the Trojans. You're going to have George Holmwood at center, Burkhart and Beach on the wings, Nichols and Ford back on defense. Holmwood steps in the sixth face off. Puck is dropped. Gets that back over to Beach. Gets it to Fort. Moves it up to Holmwood. Holmwood's going to streak through the middle. He's still got the puck. He's getting close. Oh, gets poked away by EDP, and now they're charging back through the neutral zone opposite way. Henry Fort there pokes that to the side. Nice job by Fort. EDP collects, but it puck's in the corner now. And then Fort with a nice play. Gets that along the boards up to Beach. Beach tips it out. Burkhart now in pursuit on the forecheck. Now Holmwood gets that back up, and Burkhart tried to get across the line to stay on sides, but puck just got in there before he could get out. So we'll reset. And we'll get a fresh set of forwards out there. Peter Koski, Schwab, and Chafe coming out there now for the Trojans as we have a neutral zone face-off. Closer to the Findlay goal. And now Peter Koski gets that back to Nichols. Nichols is going to go opposite side of the ice. Tip that forward to Schwab. That's on net, though. So, going to move forward. And Schwab battling in the corner. Gets that back out to Fort. Goes down for the pinch. Then that comes out to Peter Koski. Peter Koski going to try and get a shot. Bounces in front. Collected by Shape. Going to try the backhand. Now in front still. Schwab got it. Oh, and knocked aside by EDP. And now that's stick forward and then knocked out into the neutral zone by EDP. Now charging, stick aside by Ford. Nice defensive effort by Ford as he set up the boards collected by EDP. They're going to send it opposite ice. Schwab is there. Schwab's going to move forward. He's got a bunch of room. He's going to move to the middle. Try to get that over to Shape. Oh, tried to turn. That rolled off of his stick. And now Mason Cooper collects as Findlay gets on sides. And Cooper's going to come in. He's going to take a shot. Fire. Glove save. He's got it again. Chips it forward. Hits the back of the goaltender and goes behind the net. Now trying to clear that off the boards is EDP, but Sloan collects. Tries to go to the middle to Archer. Archer's still there, and now Grace has it. Grace is going to take a shot. That gets chipped forward and to the side. Grace collects, though, behind the net. He gets that back to Sloan along the boards at the blue line. Tried to set up Archer for the pass. He tried to go opposite ice, back to Sloan. And now holding that in is Archer. He's going to dangle to the middle, try to make a play on it. Grace follows up, Nick tips it aside as well. Good offensive pressure by the Trojans early. Now Grace behind the net, battling for it. And now Mason sticks that side. Grace trying to get a backhand on it, but EDP collects and moves forward. They're streaking forward. Nice back check there by Mason Cooper. Knocks the puck aside. They get one up there, but Sloan collects. He gets it up to Grace. Grace gets it back up to Sloan. Sloan takes it along the boards, tries to go to the middle with it. He's still got it. Oh, they tried in front of the net. They had the opportunity, but just couldn't get a stick on it. So then sent out. Archer takes a shot. That bounces. Save made by EDP goaltender. Ben Grace has it behind the net again. EDP rips it up the boards. Cooper down there in the corner trying to get to it. Now EDP collects Eddie Homewood coming off the bench, knocks that aside, and he knocks it back into the zone. Everybody on sides. Grace on the forecheck there behind the net. Trying to slow up EDP as they break through the neutral zone. And now they cross center ice and dump it in. EDP has it in the corner, looking for a centering pass. Slap shot. Yace with the save. Now try to chip out in front. Collected by George Homewood. Eddie and George both in on that play. Now Eddie's streaking. He's going to try to get a shot off. There to collect. Oh! On the follow-up was Beach. Must have hit the side of the net. Look, the net moved. At least the twine did. It's a good following up there as the Trojans continue to bring offensive pressure early here in the first. Let's see if they can get one to find the back of the net. Homewood now with the face-off for the Trojans. He knocks that aside over to Beach. Beach gets that over to Fort. Fort backhands that to the opposite corner. Burkhart and Beach in pursuit. Fort tries to keep it in. Loses skates, but Homewood's back there. Homewood now tries to put that opposite ice. Gets it over to his brother George, who moves it up to Mason Beach. He's got Burkhart with him. He sends it over to Burkhart. Burkhart fires a shot. Oh, just wide. Centering pass in front. He's there. Oh, trying to tip it in again. Again, good offensive pressure by the Trojans as they get that out. Now George Homewood has it up towards the blue line. Nice little dangle move there. He's looking for a shot. He's getting closer. He takes one. Oh, and just lifts it over the back of the net. As Fort chips it back along the back end of the boards. And Homewood and Burkhart and Beach all back there. Tries to get its stick on it. It gets through. Gets its way over to Nichols. Nichols gets it up to Homewood. Homewood takes it to the middle. And now he's got it back. Bounced off the skate. He's going to look for a backhand. He tries to get it over to Burkhart. Oh, just couldn't get a stick on a good pass by Homewood. Nice soft pass, and that's going to go down the length of the ice, skating through a few players. Icing hand is up, and we're going to have a stoppage of play here, and we'll bring that down to the Findlay offensive zone for the next face-off.
Let's go, Harrison.
Getting that face-off was Rylan Peterkoski. Knocked it over to the side of the boards. EDP now trying to clear the zone, but Peterkoski is there. And then kept in by Ricky Nichols. Ricky Nichols wraps it around the boards. Down to the corner is Harrison. He's trying to pursue that. Now Hank Schwab as well. And they get their sticks in there, but kicked out by EDP and collected as they streak across middle ice. And then trying to make a play on it was Nichols. That got sticked aside as well. And then coming out of the pack with it is Sloan. He makes a nice little move. He's got a lot of room here. He's going to try to get a shot. Oh, off the post. Great deke move there by Sloan, but got off the post and went the opposite way as Schwab was there too. Now a shot by Nichols, gloved by the EDP goaltender. So that'll be a stoppage of play, and we'll have another offensive zone faceoff to the right-hand side of the EDP goaltender. Offensive line change. Mason Cooper has to take the face off for the Trojans. He'll have Archer and Grace with him. Sloan is guarded back on defense. Cooper gets that back to Sloan. Sloan dumps at the opposite corner. Grace is over there pursuing. He's got the puck now behind the net. Nice little move by Grace. He gets it out front to Cooper. Cooper shoots a backhand. Grace is there for the cleanup. He tries to tip that in. Oh, just missed off the back of the net. EDP collects now, and they look to break out of the zone, but Cooper's there with an active stick, and he's got, trying to get that pass across to Ben Grace. He tries again, and then EDP clears it. River Archer there now. He's going to circle up in the slot. He's going to send one forward. That hits a stick of an EDP player, and then Archer follows his own shot and looking for an opportunity to pass or shoot from behind the net. He takes it around, gets it out to the point to Webb Sloan. Nice transition. Gets that out to the points of Teagarden. Sends it in front. Grace was there. Oh, drilled off his stick. A lot of good pressure by the Trojans here. Grace gets that, digs it out of the corner, gets that out to Sloan. He fires one towards the net. It's loose in front and covered by the EDP goaltender. Great offensive pressure here early by the Trojans. Lots of good chances. Yep. Definitely up on the shot numbers. As we'll get a line change on the offensive end. Homewood, Burkhart, and Beach out there now talking strategy before the face-off. We're going to get a defensive line change too. Eddie Homewood and Ricky Nichols out there now for the Trojans. That gets pushed forward by Homewood. Tried to put a backhand on there, goes just a little wide. He's got it now in the corner, surveying options. Tried to get that to the middle, and then it got poked away. Nice pressure by the Trojans, though. And Eddie Homewood keeps it in. Tries to move it forward to his brother George, and then EDP sends it out. Burkhart there now on the pursuit along the boards. Gets that wrapped up. Gets that back out to George Homewood. Now he's pushing through. He's going to try to split a couple players. That comes out. Beach is there. Beach fires a shot. That's loose in front. Homewood tries to tuck it in. And a hold by the goaltender. Wow. So many good chances here early by the Trojans in the first period. Trying to keep the pressure on. So they'll do this face-off again. George gets that back to Ricky Nichols at the point. Ricky Nichols fires a shot over to Burkhart. Burkhart tries to put that in. Yeah! He does! On the rebound! First rebound attempt came right back to him. He fires the second one 5-hole, and that puts the Trojans up 1-0 early here in the first. It's now Peter Koski out to take the face-off for the Trojans with Schwab and Shea, Fort and Nichols back there on defense. Puck is dropped, gets back to Nichols. Nichols surveys options, gets it over to Fort. Fort's got a little bit of room up front. He's going to take this in himself. He's going to go on lines, backstep, fire a shot off the blocker. What a move by Fort. Good shot, too. Blocker saved by EDP goaltender. Now battling in the corner for it is Shea. Now Peter Koski there as well, applying pressure. They get it out of the zone. Held up by Nichols. Nichols now crosses the line. He tries to make a man miss. He gets tossed aside. And then Fort collects as EDP clears. Fort tries to get that up, chips it forward. Hits a couple sticks, no icing. Hank Schwab there now in pursuit. Behind the back of the net, just missed that. Tip forward by EDP. And now it squirts out to the middle, and Ron Peter Koski tries to tip that back forward, and he does in the corner. EDP collects again, but Schwab there gets a stick on it. Active stick by Schwab. And now kept in by Ricky Nichols. Ricky Nichols now looking for a little bit of room. He cuts to the middle. He's got opportunity. Takes a shot. Oh, off the blocker. And now wrapped around the boards. And Nichols holds it in. Good job along the boards by Ricky as they try to move this puck forward. It squirts out to the middle again. And then EDP bangs it off the boards, and that's probably going to be an icing as it goes down the length of the ice. And it is. Right. Now we'll get an offensive line change. Mason Cooper out there takes the face off. Talk strategy with Ben Grace. Fort and Sloan back there on defense. River gets back to River Archer. Sloan's going to wind up for a slam shot, and that's going to be held on to by the goaltender for EDP. So we're going to do this face off again. Puck is dropped, knocked back to Archer. Archer tries to get that over. Hits Sloan's skate. Cooper collects. Now he's looking for something to do with it. Now gets knocked out of the zone. He looks opposite side to Fort. Fort's got it. He's got a little bit of room. He's going to push forward and dump that into the zone. Now Grace is going to pursue in the corner. Grace with a nice active stick gets that out. Cooper's got it. Now it's on Grace's stick right in front. Too many people batting at it. It's still loose. Grace still has it. He tries to tuck one in. Out to Archer at front. He fires a shot. Now Grace tips one backwards. Oh, man. Backhand attempt. Good pressure, good positioning by the Trojans. Getting lots of chances early here. Same crew out there for the Trojans on offense. Teagarden and Sloan back on defense now. Puck is dropped. Cooper gets it over Teagarden. Teagarden tried to chip that forward to Grace. Hits an EDP player. Now back in the corner. Grace has it now. Now he hits the brakes, goes reverse, battling, using his skates. Puck comes out. EDP has it. They're charging through the middle. They get a pass up. And then intercepted by Webb Sloan. Chipped up to River Archer and then tipped aside. Now Laura Teagarden's got it. He's got a little bit of room, so he's going to send that down into the corner. Forwards are going to get a line change here. Teagarden in pursuit on defense.
Come on, Beach.
Goes back. Archer's got it out there now. He gets it off the boards. He fires a shot forward. That's loose in front. Archer still got it. He sends one in front. That tips off a skate, and it's still loose behind the net. Home with their Beach in pursuit as well. EDP bangs it up the boards out of the zone. Held up at the line by Findlay. Now back into the zone, but Webb Sloan's got it. He's going to move this up the boards to Beach. Beach is going to try to get it to Homewood. Homewood's got it. Burkhart's there in the middle too, along with Beach. They've got a couple people there. George goes in close, tries to get a shot. Shot's blocked. Send in front to Beach. Burkhart's there. Fires another one in. That's 2 goals! So early, following the puck. 2 goals by Burkhart puts the Trojans up 2-0 with just over 2 minutes left here in the first period. Sorry. Puck is dropped, same line out there. Homewood with the puck gets that over to Beach. Beach held up, but Fort's got it. Fort gets it up to Beach again. And that's going to be an offsides. As that bobbled over the line, but we'll do another face-off here. Puck is dropped. Homewood gets it over to Burkhart. Burkhart gets it back to the defense, but just a little too strong on that one. But Nichols has it. He bangs it up the boards to Burkhart. Burkhart's got some room, so he's going to carry this puck in. He's going to get a shot. Just wide. Rolled off the end of his stick. Now Homewood in the corner pursuing. And Burkhart comes out with it too. And now Homewood's got it again. Homewood's looking to the front. He's got Burkhart over there. He's going to try to tuck it backhand. Is Homewood, but rolled off his stick. But kept in by Beach. Nice effort by Beach. Try to get that forward. And then EDP gets it out of the zone. They've got a 3-on-2 developing. Back checking by Homewood as well. And then broken up by Fort over in the corner there along the boards. Nice effort there by Henry Fort. Now they're all digging for it. And Peter Koski comes out with it coming off the bench. Gets that puck up out of the zone at center ice. Cross ice pass by EDP as they look to reset. Beach there with a nice aggressive play to get that out. And then Peter Koski has it, or Nichols has it on his stick, so he wraps it around the boards. That goes down the length of the ice. Won't be icing, won't get there, so EDP forced to collect. Peter Koski tried to cut that pass off, and then through neutral ice, Schwab's got it. And then it gets knocked aside by EDP, knocked into the zone, but then Sloan has it. He goes along the boards, gets it to Schwab, gets that up to Peter Koski just a little too far. And now Schwab's got it. Peter Koski gets back on side. Schwab's going to try to dangle, but following is Schaaf. Schaaf's got an open shot. He fires. It's loose in front. Homewood collects at the line. Eddie Homewood's got it now. He spins around. He's surveying options. He finds cross-ice pass. Try to get Peter Koski intercepted by EDP. Now EDP takes it up and then sticked aside, or not sticked aside, but just dumped in by EDP as Sloan was there as well. And now Homewood looking to make a play along the boards. He gets it up to Peter Koski. Peter Koski chips that forward. Gets taken down. Puck at the blue line, though, held in by EDP defense. Schaaf tried to make a play. EDP player dangling. Takes a shot. Nice blocker save by Yace. And Peter Koski comes out with it. He's going to chip it up the boards, and that's going to be the end of the first period. Trojans up 2-0 with 2 goals by Burkhart. And teams are going to talk about it, switch sides. So we had 2 goals by Archer in the first period, now 2 goals by Burkhart in the first period. And we are going to move forward to intermission. So join us back in a few minutes for the second period. Welcome back to the start of the second period. Teams have switched sides. They still in net for the Trojans. Cooper, Archer, and Grace will be out there as forwards. Teagarden and Sloan back on defense. Findlay up 2-0 early, but still plenty of hockey left, so let's see if they can keep the pressure going. Puck is dropped. Mason Cooper chips that forward. EDP defense collects. Grace trying to get a skate on it. EDP streaking through the neutral zone. Nice hold up by Grace. In the line, still shot goes off an EDP player. Grace chips it out, and now Grace has got a little bit of room. He's moving up along the boards. Stick lift by EDP, but kept in by Teagarden. Teagarden fires one at the net. Goes just wide. Opposite corner.
Behind you!
And then sent across the ice. Sloan racing back for it. Sloan gets there first as a couple of EDP players were crashing. That puck gets chipped forward. Still loose in front. Yace gets it, wisely covers. Good play by Yace there to prevent the oncoming rush. Line change now. Homewood Beach, George Homewood Beach and Burkhart out there now with Teagarden and Sloan for this defensive zone face-off. Puck is dropped. Homewood ties it up in the middle. Joe bounces off the skate, knocked back to the corner by Beach. Centering pass out to EDP at the point. Nice job there by Burkhart to knock him off the puck. Puck gets knocked forward, still in the zone though. EDP turns, takes a shot. Yace with the cover. So we'll do this face-off again, this time to the opposite side, the glove-hand side. To the goaltender, Henry Yace. So Homewood again with the face-off. George knocks that over to Webb. Sloan knocks it back around to Teagarden. Teagarden takes it up to Beach along the boards. Chips that forward. Now George Homewood is coming with a head of steam. He's got Burkhart with him too. They got a 2-on-1. He backhands it over to Burkhart. Burkhart puts one shot on. Puts the second one on. Tipped in. Oh, just missed the net. Is Homewood trying to tip that one into. No doubt. Puck out in front. Homewood's got it now along the boards. And it gets chipped out by EDP as they race through the neutral zone. Nice break up there by Teagarden. He gets it to Sloan, but then EDP collects. And now a shot goes wide. Good active stick by the Trojans to keep that shot from getting near the net. Now out to the point. EDP dumps it back down into the corner. That goes out of play, though, as it hits the boards. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off.
Go, Harrison! All right! Go, Hank!
I guess it's going to be a defensive zone face-off. So lines change for all. Ron Peterkoski out to take the face-off for the Trojans. He'll have Schaaf and Schwab with him. Eddie Homewood out there with Ricky Nichols. Puck is dropped. Gets around to Nichols. Nichols puts that up the boards to Schwab. Schwab tips that forward, but it's going to roll on an awkward angle, so that's going to be an icing, and we're going to do that all over again. So we'll come back down to the left-hand side of Yace in the Findlay defensive zone. Peterkowski with the face-off, knocks that over to Nichols. Nichols gets that back to Homewood. Homewood goes up the opposite side of the boards to Schaaf. Schaaf looking towards the middle, chips that out instead along the boards. Now cross-ice pass by EDP back into the Findlay defensive zone. Now Eddie Homewood tried to chip that forward. Now chipped out to Hank Schwab. Schwab's got a little bit of room. He's going to look to carry this in, and he's going to possibly look for a shot. He does. Gets a shot, goes just wide. Had that open side of the net, almost trickled in. Now Schaaf's got it. He's in the corner battling, looking for a possible opportunity to center this puck. Gets it out in front to Peterkowski. Peterkowski's got a chance. Nice shot, point blank. Save, puck still loose. Now over to the corner. Schwab there pursuing. Same with Homewood. Bounces over his stick out of the zone, but Peterkowski's there. Now Peter Koski from the neutral zone is going to dump that forward, and now Schwab's got it. He's going to make a turn. He's going to dump it down deep into the corner. And now on the pursuit, Peter Koski gets it in the slot, fires a shot, tipped in front, almost went in. Mason Cooper now coming off the bench, gets that in the corner. He's still got the puck. He chips it out in front to the slot, but intercepted by EDP. But Grace is there. Grace gets a stick on it, but knocked away by EDP. EDP dangling, but Grace is there too in the corner, causing some disruption. Now EDP trying to chip that into the zone. Webb Sloan has it. He's going to make a move to the outside and then toss that to the middle, up to Grace. Grace has got it. He's going to make a move. Shot from the faceoff over. Oh, nice little shot / pass over to Sloan. Collected by Cooper. Cooper's going to fire one at the net. Lost in front. Grace is there. It's still loose. EDP collects it, but then Archer chips it back down the corner, but now EDP knocks it out of the zone, but then Cooper's got it. All zone cleared, everybody on sides. Cooper now with the move, gets it over to Grace, off his skate. As Cooper tried to make a move towards the middle. Puck rammed away, but now EDP's got it, and then Webb Sloan jumps that pass, thwarting the 2-on-1 opportunity, and now he's going to cut to the middle. He's coming up from the defensive spot. He's going to look for a shot. He fires one. Oh, off of the stick, and just outside of the opportunity, or outside of the Trojans who were pursuing. Now up to Cooper. EDP calling for an icing. They get across center ice. They try to dump it. They do. They're going to change some bodies. River Archer has it. He's going to survey options as he takes it behind the net. Creates a little separation. Backhands that up to Cooper, who chips it forward to Grace. And now Grace is going to try to push this puck forward. He gets across center ice. And then pursuing, chips it forward again. EDP's got it now, moving through the neutral zone. Now Mason Cooper trying to make a play on it. Holds that up. Sloan's back there too, along with Archer as they're digging at the puck in the corner.
Up out!
EDP comes out with it. Little dangle there looking by EDP, looking for the backhand. Nice move there by Findlay defense, but then the puck squirts out in front and a goal is scored. So cutting into the lead is EDP. 8 minutes into this. Second period here. Now Homewood out to take face off for the Trojans. They get it over to Burkhart, and then Eddie Homewood moves that forward, and cross ice pass by EDP just beyond the skate. So Lawyer Teagarden there on defense dumps into the zone, touched by EDP, so no icing. Good pursuit there by Beach in the corner. Now Jonah in the corner as well. That puck comes wrapped out along the boards. Teagarden comes down to pinch that. Homewood comes up with it, covering for him, and then knocked away, but Homewood's still battling along the boards with it. Teagarden comes in to join him as they try to push this puck forward. Puck's still loose. There we go. Sent out to EDP, and then they will bang it along the boards, and that's going to be an icing.
Hey, they got a goal. They got a goal.
Just over 7 minutes left here in the second. Score is 2-1 Findlay. As we'll have an offensive zone face-off for the Trojans. Homewood will take this. George Homewood will take the face-off with Burkhart and Beach. Puck out in the middle. Burkhart's got it. He turns to try to fire. It just goes wide of the net. Homewood's got it in the corner now. And then Beach pokes that puck away. And then nice active stick work by the Trojans, but the Spiders end up getting that out. Now shot wide by EDP from the side. Eddie Homewood now tries to get that out. That hits the body of Beach, but doesn't get out of the zone, and then they're going to send it forward. Stick save by Yace. Gets that up to Teagarden, who gets it up to Burkhart. Burkhart's now going to look. He's got some options. He's going to send that over to George Homewood in the middle. George Homewood's going to fire a shot that gets tipped and above. Burkhart's got it behind the net. He tried to pass backhand one to the center. He's still battling for it. Puck out in front now. EDP looking to collect, but nice work by George Homewood. And then stick to side by EDP. So now they're going to go on pursuit. Burkhart there cuts that off, allows Homewood to go, or Beach to go take it to the corner. Now Homewood has it. Now Homewood's going to try to send that back into the corner behind the net. And now wrapped around by EDP and collected in the neutral zone and then streaking up the side, looking for a shot, but nice job by Peter Koski to just edge him out. And now George Homewood collects that puck, and he's got a little bit of space in the middle, so he's going to take it. And he's going to try to turn up the wheels and see if he can get through a couple players. And thwarted aside by EDP, who's looking to break out of the offense or the defensive zone, and then a backwards pass. Mishandled. Hank Schwab now there in the corner trying to go for that puck, and he holds it up. Nice job by Schwab. And then Schaaf has it now as Schaaf came in to follow the puck as well. And now in the corner, chipped up. Schwab's got it. Schwab's going to take a shot. Fire one. Just goes behind the net. Rylan Peter Koski along the boards there along with Ricky Nichols. And they hold it up there as they start digging for it. Schwab comes to help him out. Schwab with a nice little dangle. He's going to take a shot off the glove of the EDP goaltender. And then following behind the goal, sets it out in front. Lost in the skates of Schaaf. And now out in front, Schwab tries to spin and get a stick on it. He does. And then moving forward with it is EDP, and they flip it almost out of the zone as Peter Koski's there, and he gets his skates on it. So he dumps it back down into the corner. So now coming out with it and taking it to the slot, Peter Koski to Schwab. Schwab tried to get a shot, got tied up, so that went wide of the net. And then EDP's trying to get that out of the zone, and they do eventually chip it up forward. But a nice stick work there by Fort to hold that up in the neutral zone. And that stick aside to Peter Koski. Now Peter Koski's got it. Now he's working. He chips one back to the opposite corner. Trojans will try to get a line change here. And now Fort's out there. He pinches off on that. Tries to chip that back down to the corner. He's fighting along the boards with it. Ben Grace comes out with it. Grace is going to try to throw one towards the net. But that got sticked aside as well by EDP. But he's in pursuit. And good hustle by Grace as he picks that up. Gets that back to River Archer, who makes a nice little dangle. And he's going to fire a low shot. Stick save. But then following up on it is Grace. And Grace took one. Oh, I thought he took one in. Must have just missed it, now covered by the EDP goaltender. This commentator swore that it hit the back of the net. Great hustle play on that shift by Grace. Findlay continuing with the offensive pressure here. Let's see if they can put one in the back of the net here at the end of the second. So with 3 minutes left, Cooper's got it. He puts it off the face-off in the corner. He fires one towards the net. That bounces off the boards. Now Grace has it. Grace trying to make a move towards the middle. He's still got the puck, pursuing it. He gets a pass out to Cooper in the slot. Cooper fires one, hits a stick. It's loose in front. Now Archer's going to pull one back. As he's in the slot, he's going to get a little closer. Backhands one, just goes wide. But Archer follows. Now Archer pursuing behind the net. He tries to tuck one forward. Met with some resistance by EDP. Now Grace pursuing in the corner as well. Trying to hold that up. And now on the back check is the Trojans as it's a 2-on-3. And a nice stick by Eddie Homewood there to knock that aside. And now River Archer has it. He's going to try to lift that out of the zone, and he does. And now Ben Grace with the stick lift, and now he's going to move forward. He's got an opportunity for a shot. He tries to move to the outside. He's still got it after being bumped, and he bumps it behind the net. Now that's sent up along the boards, but kept in by River Archer. Back to Ben Grace. Ben Grace trying to get a centering pass. Stick in the way for EDP. And now Sloan trying to bring that into the zone, waiting for Findlay players to clear. And now EDP sends that cross ice. That's probably going to go the distance. And that's going to be icing. No, he called it off. So now Teagarden with a nice little reversal. Gets that up the board to Grace. Grace tries to knock that forward. Runs into an EDP player. And now Ben Grace has it. He tries to chip that forward again, and he does. And he's got a little bit of space. And he dumps it into the zone as Findlay tries to pursue here in the corner. Mason Cooper now comes down to try to get it. That's chipped away, but kept in by Webb Sloan with a skate. And now Eddie Homewood's out there. Or George Homewood, sorry. And George Homewood has it behind the net. Now he tips it around the opposite end into the corner. Now Mason Cooper goes down to try to collect it and work in the corner as well. And he does. And now he's looking for a little bit of room in front of the net. Now he reverses. He's looking for Homewood or a shot out in front. He gets a shot off the goaltender and he scores! Nice little spin move, banks it off the side of the goalie, and goes in to put the Trojans up 3-1 here late in the second period. So that was Homewood to Cooper for that goal. And now George Homewood out there takes face off for the Trojans, gets it back to Beach, gets it to Burkhart. Burkhart fires a shot and scores! That's a hat trick for Burkhart!
Wow.
So on that shot streaking across the blue line, that's Burkhart with the hat trick for the Trojans to put them up 4-1 here in the second. Puck is dropped. Homewood gets that forward. He's still battling for it. Now Burkhart has it. Now he's got a little bit of room. He gets through a player. He's going for another shot. He gets another one. That's 4 goals for Burkhart. So with 1:17 left in the second period, Findlay up 5-1.
Wow. Explosion.
Puck is dropped. Homewood gets it over again. Homewood collects that. Shot in front, loose. Blocked by EDP goaltender. Now EDP charging down the opposite way. Oh, and we're going to have a roughing call on that as Nichols went in to play the puck and made a lot of contact.
I don't think he really kind of angled him in there. All right, Ricky. Good play, Ricky.
Good effort there to hold the puck up, but a little too aggressive. Led to the roughing penalty. So we're going to have a look at the Trojan penalty kill here. So now Cooper and Grace out there as the puck is dropped with just a minute left here. Gets it back to Sloan. Sloan's going to try to put a little move on back there and kill some of this penalty. And now he's going to skate forward. He makes a little dangle move. And he's going to send that puck deep into the zone to try to kill some more clock. Now Ben Grace there in the pursuit. He's going to try to chip it forward. He's still got it behind the net. And now Grace on the forecheck here. As EDP tries to get that forward and then collected in the neutral zone by Findlay. And then Sloan is going to put that back opposite ice. And now Grace again with a nice play. And then Teagarden streaking to the middle. He gets a shot on that. He gets his own rebound. He fires a shot. Blocked again by EDP goaltender. And now collected up front by Sloan as they try to clear. And a shot goes over the goal behind the net. As we get toward the last closing seconds of this period, EDP is going to bring it out of the zone. They're going to chip it forward. Hits backwards off of a skate. And that's going to be the end of the second. So a flurry of goals here.
Scores 1-1
by the Trojans.
Let's go now.
So join us here as we've got 31 seconds left in the Trojan penalty kill. Teams will talk about it in between periods, change sides, and we'll get back for an exciting third. Welcome back to the start of the third period here. Little line change up. We're going to have Homewood out to take the face off. He'll have Peter Koski with him as the Trojans are still killing a penalty for 31 seconds here. Puck is dropped. Sloan and Teagarden back on defense. They get this back up to Homewood. Homewood's going to try to enter the zone. Spun around a little bit and then chipped in by EDP. Teagarden racing to the corner. He's got one in pursuit from EDP. He's going to knock that along the boards to Peter Koski, who's going to try to get that up out of the zone, and he does. So collecting in neutral ice is EDP, and now they're going to bring it across the blue line. Going to fire a shot. Yace is there with the save and the stop. So 6 seconds left here on the penalty to Nichols. As Homewood takes this face off, gets knocked over the side. EDP with a shot. Saved by Yace, loose in front, collected, knocked away, and collected by Homewood, who's going to hit a streaking Harrison Schaaf out of the bench as Nichols came out of the box. So good heads-up awareness there. And now it's knocked into the corner by Peter Koski, and Schaaf's going to collect it. Now Schaaf's going to backhand that, try to hit Peter Koski in the middle, but it bounced off an EDP player. And now back into the defensive zone, and Webb Sloan collects. He's going to fire that up along the boards to Schaaf. Schaaf's going to get that up to Homewood, intercepted by EDP, and they're going to move it through the neutral zone. Peter Koski there in pursuit along with Sloan. Sticks down, shot for Yace. Puck loose in front, collected by Peter Koski. Puts a little move on, gets that up to Homewood. Homewood's now pushing forward. He gets the puck knocked aside, but then collects it again off the boards, and then hit in the back with an elbow was Homewood, but he's pressing forward. He's still got the puck. He tries a centering pass. Tried to get it to Schaaf. It's in the feet. Knocked along the boards now, and then kept in by Sloan. Sloan's going to fire a shot from the face-off circle. That goes just behind the net. And now EDP is going to bring that up forward. They've got a 2-on-2 opportunity. They take it to the outside. Nice work by Teagarden to send that to the outside, and then centering pass sticked away by Webb Sloan, and now he's held up. So there's going to be a penalty. Now Ben Grace has it. He's going to try to move down the boards, and he's still got some space. He cuts to the middle. Oh, and that puck is still loose, but empty net by Findlay as he puts a centering pass out in front. Off the post, and then finally covered by the EDP goaltender. So we'll have a Trojan power play here on that trip. As number 27 goes to the box for EDP for tripping. Mason Cooper takes the face off for the Trojans. Puck is dropped. He gets that over to Ben Grace. Ben Grace gets that back to Henry Fort. Henry Fort fires a shot in front. Kick saved by the EDP goaltender.
Awesome.
Ben Grace back there putting pressure on the forecheck. Errant pass by EDP. They're going to keep that in. Mason Cooper going to fire it down to the corner for Grace. Collected by EDP. And then chipped ahead by EDP as well. But then nice work by Ricky Nichols to cut that off. And now Nichols trying to push that forward. He pushes it forward to River Archer in the neutral zone. And then sending that in is Archer. Archer's going to get a shot on net. Just goes wide. Ben Grace is in the corner, though. He's going to fire one. Oh, just took an awkward bounce and went behind the net. But Nichols comes and pursues down and bringing it from the defensive end around the net. He's got, had Cooper in front. Tried to hit him with a pass. Webb Sloan's back there. Sloan's going to take a shot. That gets caught up in the pants of a player for EDP. But then he's got to fire another shot, and that's gloved by the EDP goaltender. So 35 seconds left in the Trojan power play. As Homewood, Burkhardt, and Beach come out there on offense, Nichols and Fort on defense. Homewood gets that back to Beach. Beach fires a high looping shot that just goes over the net. And now EDP collects. They're looking to centering pass, and now sticked aside by Beach. Nice job by Beach. Beach puts it forward as well. Now Burkhardt's got it. He puts it in the corner, or in the side, and then EDP collects again, but then nice stick work by Homewood. And now Nichols has it. Everybody's on side now. Nichols fires a shot. That's loose in front. And another follow-up by Homewood, and then that's saved by the goaltender for EDP. So defensive change here as Sloan and Homewood come out. Last 6 seconds of this power play. Little strategy discussed. Puck is dropped. Homewood gets it back to Burkhart. Burkhart gets it back to Homewood. Cross that, try to centering pass to Beach. And then collected by Homewood, middle ice. Sends that to the boards. And then Beach there to hold that up. And Homewood trying to pick that out, and he does. Homewood gets it out of the pile. Now he's going to go to the outside. He beat a player. Now he's looking for a centering pass. Burkhart was there too. Now Burkhart's got it behind the net. He's going to chip it around. Centered it out in front. Nobody there, but except Homewood, who took a great shot. Now Burkhart's got it behind the net again. He puts it in front again. Now Beach out there on pursuit. Now the puck is bobbled and collected. And now Beach has it. Beach is going to fire a shot over. Oh, off the glove and just wide. Now Burkhart in the corner as well. That puck gets behind the net. Beach pursuing now behind the net. And Burkhart back there chips it aside. Burkhart now hustling. Now he's opposite side. Centers it in front. Oh, and hits off a skate. But then George Homewood there to poke it back in and then sent out by EDP. And now it's a 2-on-2 opportunity. Nice active stick work by Eddie Homewood there to break that up. And then Webb Sloan collects. And he goes up, gets it to Burkhart. Burkhart chips it up to Homewood. Homewood's got Beach with him. Homewood tries to break through. Just chipped forward too much. Homewood tried a centering pass. EDP stick in the way there. That bounces off the back of the net. And now still loose in front. George Homewood there trying to get that puck deep, and then we're going to have a tripping penalty as this stick got in the way. So we'll get a look at the Trojan penalty kill again here. Midway through the third period, Ryland Peterkowski take the face-off for the Trojans. Puck is dropped. They get that over. That goes towards the net. Nice save by Yace. Harrison Chafe grabs it, bounces it off or out of the zone, but a little too far, so we're going to have an icing. Peterkowski again with the face-off for the Trojans. Puck is dropped over to EDP. Backwards pass between the defense. So that's going to be a friendly Trojan pass. That kills a little bit of time off of this penalty. Ryland Peterkowski there staying with it. A nice play along the boards there by Peterkowski. And again, he comes up with it again, tying him up. And now that goes up to Webb Sloan. Webb Sloan's going to look for a little bit of room, and he's going to fire it down deep into the offensive zone. Peterkowski back there behind the net as EDP chips it from D to D and now moves it up on a breakoff. But there was Schaaf, intercepted that pass, but EDP collects, and then they send it to the opposite corner. Now Sloan back there. Nice little move along the boards by Sloan. He tries to chip that out of the zone, but EDP collects at the blue line. Now looking for a shot is EDP, but too many Trojan players there. So Ryland tried to get it out, held at the point by EDP, but then shot, blocked by Sloan. And then again, chipped out now by Harrison Schaaf. Good effort by Schaaf to try it on the forecheck to intercept that pass. And now collected again by the Trojans and move forward as Cooper comes off the bench here. 5 seconds left in the Trojan penalty kill. And Sloan gets it. Trojans back at full strength. He chips it back off the boards, gets it to Teagarden. Teagarden moves it up the boards to Schaaf. Schaaf then chips it out to neutral ice. And then Aaron pass. And then Ben Grace is there, tries to chip that into the zone. but met with resistance. But then he follows it up and dumps it deep into the zone. And now Mason Cooper in pursuit behind the net as he tries to collect that puck, but that just goes right by him. Now Ben Grace there gets a skate in the middle, pops in the slot, does that puck, and River Archer now there in the corner battling for it. And now along the boards, but Mason Cooper chips that back in and then sent out and then collected by Ricky Nichols. Ricky Nichols got a little bit of room. Now he's going to look to the middle because he's got a ton of space. And he's going to drop that back, try to drop that back to Archer. Nice play there. But Fort holds that up at the line, tries to tip that forward. Stick from EDP got on it, but still entered the zone. And now Ben Grace is there to collect. He gets tripped up. There's going to be a penalty there as a hand goes up. So good hustle again by the Trojans following the puck. As number 10 for EDP goes to the box for tripping for a minute and a half. So we'll get another look at a Trojan power play as Homewood, Burkhart, and Beach come out. Puck is dropped. Homewood gets it back to Beach. Beach fires a shot that goes just over. Burkhart now collects in the corner. He's surveying options. Tries to put it center to Beach. Beach is there. Fires a shot. Gets a stick in the way. But then Fort has it. Now Fort chips it down to Burkhart. Burkhart's there in the corner. He fires one towards the net. Goes just a little wide. Now Beach with the wraparound. Oh, it's puck loose in front. Now knocked to the side. Fort's got it now. Now he's in the corner. He sends it to the middle. Burkhart's there. He fires a shot. Almost got another one. Nice stick work there by Homewood. Homewood keeps it in the zone. And then comes back out to Beach. And then chipping that aside is Ricky Nichols. Now Nichols has it. Nichols is going to try to take a shot. He gets it over to Burkhart. Oh, that shot goes off the skate. Nice one-time pass. But it hits the skate of an EDP player. And then pursuing on the back check is Nichols. And Fort was there as well. And then shot goes off of Homewood. Now goes out to Burkhart. Burkhart chips that out of the zone. They'll get a line change. Now that puck goes through neutral ice, and then we're going to have, looks like some kind of penalty here for roughing. George Homewood goes to the box for roughing for a minute and a half. And we've got running clock here in the third based on the goal differential. So puck is dropped. Ryland Peterkowski took that face off, ties it up. Now puck in the corner. Eddie Homewood in pursuit, and also Webb Sloan. Schwab over there in the corner battling as well now as EDP takes it out to the point. Nice work there by Peterkowski to hold him up. That goes out to Eddie Homewood. Now Webb Sloan has it. Webb Sloan's going to chip that out of the zone, forcing them to reset. And now trying to battle for it is Schwab. Schwab pushes it forward now. And then going opposite side of the ice is EDP. That's not going to get to the corner, or at least they're going to wave off the icing. So as we move forward, good stick work by Peterkowski. As Peterkowski's going to get that going. And he's got a little bit of room. Still to him. Oh, and he pushes it to the corner. And then comes out to Hank in front, but he gets tied up by EDP. And now EDP is on the rush now with a 3-on-2. They chip it forward. Nice job there by Homewood. Centering pass. Couldn't find the tape for EDP. They take a shot. Yates is there with the hold. Now puck is dropped again. Cooper comes out with it. He's going to try to find Archer cross ice pass. That intercepted by EDP. Schaaf now there in the corner as well, or along the boards rather. Archer there too. Fort has it. He tries to get it up to Schaaf. along the board. Schaaf still battling. Archer comes in there as well. Fort still battling. Puck's still loose. Puck's still moving. And then tip to the center now. And then Archer tips that forward as we're under 40 seconds now in the game. And then Nichols tries to get that moving forward as well. EDP chips it ahead, but Mason Cooper's there. Mason Cooper sends it now. Hits the stick of a player at the blue line for EDP, so no icing. And now Archer in pursuit on the forecheck. And a nice breakup of the pass by Ricky Nichols. And then following is Mason Cooper, who dumps that back into the zone. We're under just about 10 seconds here left in the game. River Archer now with the pursuit on the forecheck. And then EDP bringing it down the ice. They're going to send that in, but that's going to be the game. So we've got a win for the Findlay Trojans. They go 2-0 today against EDP. River Archer with a couple goals in the first game. Jonah Burkhardt with a few goals in the second game. A lot of good offensive pressure. And the Trojans finish 3-1 this weekend in a 24-hour span. So thank you all for watching. Join us next weekend as the Trojans travel to Detroit for a tournament. And we'll have multiple games broadcasting Saturday through Monday. Thanks again for watching and enjoy.